Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. I had one of my subscribers leave a comment and asked for an update on my grandson. So I'm going to give you all the information. He was born Thursday morning at 7:21 a.m. Thursday morning, December 14th, 2023, 7:21 a.m. He was 6 pounds 11 ounces. He's 19 3/4 inches long. Um, my daughter was 37 weeks. When he came out, first seemed like he was alright, but then it seemed like he was having some breathing issues. And they ended up putting him on a CPAP machine and running a feeding tube down his throat. Just a little small one, not a big thick one or anything. And his skin was really red, and they said there's a really high chance that he'll go jaundice. He has been admitted into the NICU, but since that, yesterday, since Thursday, Friday, basically they took him off the oxygen, so he's breathing on his so they took him off the CPAP, and then they kept the feeding tube, but they ran it through his nose versus his mouth, because they're feeding him by bottle as well, some of Kelsey's breast milk, as well as giving him, his nutrition through a feeding tube. Kelsey's supposed to be getting out of the hospital come Sunday. I don't know if he will be ready or not. It just depends on if he turns jaundice. And there's parts of his body that already look like he's turning jaundice. Let's see what else I'm going to tell you. I basically watched my grandgirls on Thursday morning and Friday morning. Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening was when I went up to the hospital and got to see Finn, and his name's Finnian Thomas. His name will be Finn, more than likely is what we'll call him, unless we can come up with some other little nickname the older he gets, and depends on his personality and whatnot. But I watched my grandgirls Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. I went to the hospital. Today, Friday, I got up again early, went over to my mom's, watched my grandgirls again, because my mom is 90 years old, but she still does volunteer work down at the church with their clothes closet on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday mornings. So I helped her out with watching my granddaughters. And then, let's see, what else did I do? And then Friday after I left there, I ran some errands. My son-in-law bought chairs to put in my living room, because they needed the extra room in their bedroom. So he brought a couple of chairs over here to me today and hung out for a little while. And then Kelsey called and video chatted with us, me and him, while she was down there with Finnian in the NICU. So I did get to see him again video-wise, but more than likely, because I do work tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, before I have another day off. So, more than likely, I won't be seeing him again at the hospital. I'll just wait until he gets home from the hospital. And that's about where we are on that. He has these really pretty blue eyes right now. And as far as I can see, his hair is going to be like a blonde, maybe a light brown. That's about all I can think of to talk about, as far as Finian's concerned. They just said the reason why he's having issues breathing is because, most babies that are taken cesarean usually have more fluid in their bodies than babies that are born natural, vaginally. Because during that process, as the baby's coming through the birth canal, it is getting squeezed. And so a lot of that extra that's in their body, like that amniotic fluid that's like in their lungs and stuff, before their lungs actually have air hit them, a lot of that extra fluid's squeezed away. Whereas with cesarean babies, they opportunity because they're basically just pulled out, and sometimes in the process they can ingest amniotic fluid, and that's not good. That happened with my first grandbaby, which is Everly. She was born in Parker, Colorado in July of 2020 and was an emergency cesarean. She was head down, and then at 36 weeks she flipped head up. Between 36 and 37 weeks she flipped head up again, and Kelsey had this huge lump sticking out from the right side of her, and we didn't realize that it was Everly's head. And Kelsey started feeling pretty uncomfortable and having pain and stuff, so she went and seen the doctor, and the doctor was like, we're gonna have to try an inversion tomorrow. And so they went back in the next day, which was July 22nd, for her inversion, and they couldn't invert her, and they did an emergency cesarean. And so Kelsey was like 37 weeks long when they took Everly. But in the process, when they took Everly, she definitely ingested amniotic fluid. They immediately knew it. She also was having some blood sugar issues, and so they had to get her under control. I think she spent a total of time of 12 days in the NICU before she was able to come home. And then after she was able to come home, she was on oxygen 24/7 for 4.5 months until her lungs were strong enough to exasperate all that fluid that she ingested. Now, with Cadence, my second grandbaby, she was born in Oklahoma in July of 2021, and she was taken at 38 weeks. She had actually flipped back around as well, but they didn't realize it. They'd already scheduled her anyway, and I think they realized she'd flipped around and was back head, but she didn't stick under Kelsey's rib or anything like that, and wasn't causing any problems, and didn't seem like to be a concern. So they just went ahead and left her until the scheduled date, and she came out. She was fine. She never had to be on oxygen. She was immediately in the room with mom and dad, and going home within 2 days, I think, 2 to 3 days later, And now with this one, my grandson, well, he had to have oxygen and a CPAP machine and a feeding tube, and yeah. But once his breathing probably gets a little bit less labored, and he can eat on his own a little bit better, and once he gets through the jaundice stage, hopefully he'll be home within a week or two. If that, I'm hoping way before that, because I just can't even imagine having a baby and then having to leave my baby at the hospital. I mean, it was difficult when Kelsey had to leave Everly at the hospital in Colorado when we were there. And she was in there for 12 days. But the hospital was like maybe 10 minutes down the road at the most. Here was at least a good 25-minute drive from where we live. So it's a little further distance, and so that takes a little bit of gas money, time, effort, the commute, all that, just to get up there to the hospital. So I just ask that you all send out good vibes, good energy, good thoughts, to baby Finn, that he'll recover quickly, that he doesn't go jaundice. I'm hoping that he doesn't go jaundice. And that his breathing becomes a little bit more evened out, and that he'll be able to start ingesting fluids via mouth, which he already has started slowly but surely. So he's definitely well on his way to becoming that healthy, bouncing baby boy that we all want. So thanks for the time and listening to my update on my grandson. He's beautiful, but for privacy purposes, I will not be posting any pictures of my grandson on here at this point in time. If I do talk to you away from YouTube, I will send you photos of him via private messages, but there will not be any pictures or videos posted of him at this point in time. And I hope y'all understand in me protecting the privacy of my grandchildren. And with that, I'm going to end this, and y'all have a most blessed day or night wherever you may be, and we'll talk to you soon. If anything immediately changes or happens, I'll definitely make a video and give you guys an update. Until then, peace, love, hugs, nugs, and smoke it if you got it. Good night.